The woman took off her clothes and tied them around the man's wound to stop the bleeding. Before long, the man regained consciousness. Then he told the woman to turn off the gas valve. If it kept rising, they would freeze to death, because at this moment, they were trapped in a hot air balloon. However, just then, the woman suddenly heard a familiar voice coming from behind her. When she turned around, she was horrified to find the man who had accidentally fallen earlier was actually hanging onto a safety rope. At this point, the other girl immediately jumped onto the gondola, wanting to reach out and grab the man, but due to the long distance, she tried several times without success, so the man could only increase his swinging amplitude. But the next second, the girl heard a scream. Only then did she realize the man's figure was no longer on the safety rope. As time passed bit by bit, a hot air balloon was also gradually descending. But what was devastating was that it had drifted over the ocean. Even if they jumped now, for those who couldn't swim, death was just a matter of time. Just as they were in despair, the woman suddenly discovered there was actually a cruise ship on the sea surface, so they hurriedly waved for help. At this time, the passengers on the ship also noticed them, but these tourists thought they were just waving hello. However, the man in the hot air balloon accidentally fell into the sea. Seeing this, the woman immediately threw down a rope, but because the distance was too far, it was completely useless, so the girl could only tie the rope around another companion, wanting him to go down and rescue the man, but the woman couldn't swim. Watching the man about to drown, the woman had no choice but to tie the rope around herself, but looking at the very deep ocean, the woman still hesitated. When she mustered her courage again, she found the man's figure was no longer on the sea surface. In order to survive, they had to attract the attention of the cruise ship not far away. Looking at the banner hanging on the gondola, the woman thought of a way. She hugged her companion's legs and took down the banner while standing upside down. Afterwards, the girl wrote an SOS signal on the banner, but the passengers on the cruise ship didn't notice at all. The two girls in the hot air balloon, as the cruise ship got farther and farther away, their only chance of survival was gone. The two fell into despair again, but what was even more devastating to them was that the hot air balloon was rapidly descending, so they could only reignite the propeller, but the lighter was in the man's pocket.